It's week number 3 of Feeding Farmers in the Field. Gorgeous sunshine. We're in Clinton County, and joining me, Willie Murphy of Murphy Farms. And Willie, we've got a lot to talk about, but first, congratulations. Thanks for having us out to the farm. Tell us about some of the things you've got here at the farm that we'd like to take a look at.
Well, I'd like you to take a look at our cattle feedlot operation, tell you a little bit about what we do with it, and raising freezer beef, and the brew cows that we've got, and a couple hog finishing barns, and along with all the livestock, we've got several hundred acres of row crops, corn, beans, wheat, and raise a little barley for a local elevator.
So there are some days of the week you have nothing to do around here.
Well, maybe, but it better be raining really hard or snowing really hard. And but no, normally we're pretty busy every day.
All right, let's go to the agronomy side, talk about this spring. It looks like you've got most everything in okay.
Yeah, we did. We got off to a little bit of a late start planting, a little bit later in May, but once we got rolling, we went along pretty good. Got a lot of it wiped out pretty quick. Some of our corn, last 2 farms of corn were planted first part of June, but other than that, everything else is planted good. Now if it just quit raining, everything will be a little better for us.
I heard from the agronomy meeting the other night, be careful what you wish for on that. So the diversification in the crops, you've also got some barley.
Yes, we've got raised 150 acres of barley for a local elevator here in Wilmington, and we've been doing that for about 20 years now. And we like to do it. Price is pretty good for us. The yield's really good, pretty comparable to our wheat. And we can get it in and out 2 weeks earlier normally than the wheat crop, and you get your double crop beans planted earlier, get a lot better yield out of them.
And you've been taking advantage of a wrapping system for hay this year.
Yeah, we decided this winter to buy a wrapper, and if it hadn't been for that wrapper, we wouldn't have any hay baled this year.
And your neighbor also likes it.
Yes, our neighbor likes it too. Without a doubt, we've done about 500 bales so far, so we've been pretty fortunate to have that.
And you kind of break things up between wheat and the rest of the harvest. You've got spelts.
Yeah, we raise about 12 acres of spelts, used as a roughage in the cattle feed. When we see our corn cribs, we're kind of old school and raise some ear corn for the cattle feed. And when it gets wet in the winter or summertime, or seems like it rains every day, so it's always wet, we use the spelts as a supplement for the cattle feed.
The wheat's right behind you there. How long till you'll be in the wheat field?
The wheat's probably going to be ready before the ground gets dry enough, to be honest with you. So as soon as the ground dries up, I'd say we'll be able to go.
All right, as we take a look at all of those things then, we've got to go back to the cattle feed. Bart was really anxious to see the wire bins out front full of ear corn. You still produce your own and harvest your own ear corn for the cattle?
Yes, we do. We normally pick 6,000 to 7,000 bushel ear corn a year, and we mix it about 20 to 25% ration in our cattle feed, and we think it makes a really good finished product.
And you've been able to capitalize on a freezer beef market locally as well.
Yeah, we've we raise a lot of freezer beef, and basically it started out really small, and by word of mouth it's grown, and a lot of people that buy from us are neighbors and friends and relatives, and anybody that comes along wants to buy, we'll sell to. But like I said, a lot of it's just relatives and neighbors and everybody like that, and we get along pretty good with it.
And you said if we got a couple hundred head we're feeding for that, we ought to have some mama cows, and you do that as well.
Well, yeah, if you're going to take care of a couple hundred head of cattle, what's a little more? And we've got about 120 acres of ground that you really can't farm or do anything with, so we found you might as well run some cows on it and get a little bit of something out of it, you know. And I know this is something going on with everybody right now. We're paying these high real estate taxes. We might as well get what we can get out of the ground, so that's why we got our cows.
So if that wasn't diversified enough, whose idea was to get in a contract hog business?
Well, that's something that Dad started several years ago before I really came back to the farm. We had one 1,200 head finishing barn, and in 2011 we decided if we're going to take care of one, we might as well take care of 2. So we built another one, and we get along pretty good with that as well.
And it looks like, how many of you are involved in the farming operation?
There's 4 of us, myself, my brother, my dad, my uncle, and then we got 1 full-time employee and a couple part-time guys.
So who's the mechanic? Nice shop in here.
My brother and our full-time guy do a lot of the work, and you know, we built this shop, or finished the shop, in the winter of 2012, and we found that if we can work on a lot of equipment ourselves, we can save a lot of money versus taking it somewhere and having the work done by somebody else.
And it makes it nice if somebody in the family really likes to do that part as well.
Yes, it does. Makes it really nice, and having this shop in the wintertime when it's really cold gives us a place to hide and get away and spend our time working on stuff.
How many years has this been the home farm?
This farm here has been in the family since 1977, and on a farm where my uncle lives, it's been in the family since 1922.
There you go. Quite a history here at Murphy Farms. I've been visiting with Willie Murphy as he has a very diversified operation, taking advantage of a lot of the ground, a lot of the family, and a great place to be located. We're just outside Wilmington in Clinton County. Week 3 winner of Feeding Farmers, all thanks to AgriGold.